Hello.
It is Vlogmas Day 16.
December 15th.
There's only 10 days till Christmas. It's insane.
Yay.
We had a video planned for tonight that involved a treat in a Christmas movie. And then our plumbing erupted.
And we're upset.
We're
we don't
upset.
want to talk about it.
We don't know. And if you've watched our channel ever before, you know all about our plumbing. If you don't, I mean, you can find it somewhere back on a weekly vlog, I'm sure. We have plumbing issues in this house that are recurring. Yeah. So we're not watching a movie. We feel like watching The Big Bang Theory and Animal Crossing.
Yes. We need to chill.
But I thought instead of making this just the most ridiculously boring Vlogmas ever video, that we would do one that we had planned for later this week. Story of how we met.
Go for it.
So
Too long ago, I don't remember.
there are an insane amount of weird connections. But the original story is, well, actually, you know more about the story than I do because you were there.
I was there. I know because I was there. If you know that quote from Clue, points for you.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the deal is my parents know, or knew, however you want to say it, her grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Her grandparents. My parents, her grandparents.
Yep.
So they were friends from church and bowling leagues and things like that. So they were over at our house visiting my mom and dad. I came home, I think, from work or something. And her grandma said, "Oh, are you dating anyone?" And I said, "No." And so she pulls out your picture.
My
Your
senior from high school.
Graduation picture, yeah. So I think I was 23
Yep.
at the time.
And I was like a week or so before my 18th birthday.
No, 19.
19th birthday, sorry.
I said,
19th birthday.
She said she's 19, but she was, when we actually got to the date, I'll skip ahead.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, so you're going to be 20?" Because her birthday was in a week. And she goes, "No, I'm going to be 19. So you were only 18 at the time.
I think my grandma thought if she told him I was 18, it would make me seem too young.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway.
a funny side story.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she goes, "Oh, okay, I got a granddaughter. Here's her picture and whatever." I said, "Oh, okay." Or she said, "Can I give her your number or whatever?" And I said, "Sure." So it was the next day, I think. She had already talked to you and your parents, right?
Yep. She called and asked my mom and dad if it was okay, first of all, which I know is weird when you're 18, but just out of respect, I think. And then...
Yeah, it was the next day she called me back and said, "Yeah, she's willing to meet you and here's her phone number," or whatever. So it was a total blind date.
Yep.
That's how we met.
Set up by my grandma.
Set up by your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
So I just called over there and we went out. That was weird.
He came to pick me up and it was so funny. I just remember my mom and dad were super excited about it, and I think it had a lot to do with the fact that the only other boyfriend I had, my high school boyfriend, was, I mean, God bless him, he turned into a decent guy later in life, but he was not the guy that you want your daughter gonna marry someday. So I think they were glad.
Well, they knew my family.
Yes,
so.
and they knew his family, and we grew up exactly the same in almost every respect you could think of. Just very similar backgrounds, so they were excited. But so I remember, what was it? Oh, my grandma, when she was explaining him to me, she said, "I just want to let you know, he wears glasses." Now, I didn't wear glasses at the time, and I remember thinking, he must be like a nerd, because why would she think to tell me specifically that he wears glasses?
Yeah.
So I remember talking to my mom. My dad wasn't home when you came to pick me up. I think he was still at work.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to my mom beforehand and being like, "I'm kind of nervous. Like, do you think he's weird looking or something? Because Grandma felt the need to mention that he wears glasses, but no. But yeah, you came and picked me up. I remember you had a pickup truck.
Yep.
And I remember I had no clue what we were going to talk about. We are both as introverted as you can get.
It was a rough first date.
It was rough. He had a thing in his truck that said "Let It Be" on it, and it said "Let It Be Records."
It's a record store in Minneapolis.
But I didn't see the word records. I just saw "Let It Be," and I was an obsessive Beatles fan at the time. So I just mentioned something. Oh, "Let It Be" is the Beatles, and it was like we latched on. Ooh, Beatles! So we talked about the Beatles, and somehow we mentioned Mountain Dew, and we knew that we liked Mountain Dew, and I seriously, the whole conversation was about Mountain Dew and the Beatles.
That's all you need for love.
That's all you need.
That's what love is based on.
We ate dinner at TGI Fridays.
Yep, which is now a parking lot.
Yep, it's gone. And then we went to the Mall of America.
And we walked around in like total silence.
In total silence.
No, I mean...
No, but pretty close.
Yeah, it wasn't...
And like you could have fit 2 or 3 people in between us. But it must have, I mean, something must have clicked. Because...
So. We're still here.
Yeah, well, yeah, 24 years later. But how many days was it before we went out again?
It was probably almost 2 weeks, wasn't it?
I think so. My grandma kept calling me and asking me if he had called, and I was like, no. And I was thinking, well, maybe he didn't enjoy himself that much. Oh, you did come in and talk to my mom and dad when we got home.
I did, yep.
And that was the other thing. I was impressed. I think they were impressed too, because you were able to sit and talk to my mom and dad like no big thing.
Yeah, I think I had easier talking to them than I did to you.
Because they are the same age as his brothers and sisters, so that's just an age group like he related to well.
I was like dialed in there.
Yeah, so that went really well. But yeah, my grandma kept bugging me, and finally he called. And I told my grandma that he had called, and she was so excited. And then we went to the Science Museum.
Yeah.
That felt more like a date. I think we were already a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Past the awkward meet and greet stage.
We were both too shy, so shy.
Yeah. And I mean, we went pretty quickly from there.
Yeah.
So that was our first date, the awkward one, was April 13th, 1996.
Yep.
And we were engaged
October 23rd.
October 23rd,
1996.
Met on a blind date, engaged 6 months later.
And
I would never...
Married next September.
Married the following September. Would we recommend that to people? Never in a million years. It's not smart. However, here we are.
Yeah.
So nobody would listen to us if we told them it wasn't smart, probably. But, yeah. I still remember telling my dad that we were engaged. We sort of did the, like, asking his permission and telling at the same time.
Yeah, we kind of were in there.
We were already
we
engaged,
like to talk to
but...
you.
Yeah, but if my mom and dad hadn't given us their blessing, I don't know if I would have been able to move forward. But they did. But my dad didn't want to talk to us. You could tell he knew it was coming.
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, I gotta watch something on TV here."
I think he knew what was coming.
He want to come out in the other room.
And they were nervous until we said we were going to get married the following fall, and then everything was fine. Then I think they were happy.
At least 11 months away.
Yep, I think as soon as they knew that, then they were happy about everything. Yeah, so that's kind of a fun story to tell people, I think. Especially when you just give people the quick version. How'd you meet? Oh, my grandma set us up on a blind date.
Yeah.
But all the connections, I mean, it's insane.
Well, obviously our families knew each other.
Yes.
But...
Well, so we both went to... You grew up in the Baptist church. My family started in the Baptist church and then moved to the another kind of evangelical church called Christian Missionary Alliance, but very similar still.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how they knew each other, through like bowling leagues, softball teams, basketball, all these different things that different members of our family. But the weirdest one to me is that my dad and his family, my grandma, grandpa, and the kids, knew his dad with his first wife and their kids.
Yeah. Before I was even...
Before he was,
around.
long before.
So they lived on the same street or something, right? Or
no,
Audrey
no,
lived
no.
on the same street.
So there's this woman, Audrey.
Hooked up my mom and dad.
Yep, she's the one who introduced his mom and his dad after they divorced their respective or first spouses. And then they were married for 35 years or something before he passed. So this Audrey hooked them up. Well, my grandma was really good friends with Audrey.
Yeah.
So they would go see Audrey with the kids, and then they would hang out with his dad.
Well, they knew them. I don't think they hung out.
Well, they knew him enough that my dad
it.
could tell me a few things about each of the kids.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they were like buddies or anything.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part. But then my mom was a preschool teacher at the church, and she actually had her sister...
My sister and my cousins.
And her cousins in her class.
Weird.
Yeah.
Not me, I was too old, but...
She knew your uncle because he helped build the swing set or something.
Yep, my dad's brother.
So,
yep.
And didn't she have your mom there once for?
Well, she knew my mom from preschool,
Molly,
from dropping my sister off.
But yeah, so that's weird. Yeah.
So then also it just keeps going. My dad also remembers, is it basketball that he played?
With my uncle.
With his uncle, who is, again, my grandparents' age.
Yeah, so he knew him.
And then completely, separate. So one of his brothers was married. Well, many of his brothers were married and are not married anymore. There's a lot of that. But this particular brother was married. And this woman he was married to, they've been divorced for a long time, but she hangs around more than any of the current wives. She likes to come bother us. Huh?
Well, no.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody who watches these doesn't know that.
Anyway.
She can be a bit much to take.
Anyway.
However, my mom knew her.
From high school.
From high school.
Yeah.
Just completely bizarre.
It's weird.
How many crazy connections
and
there were.
The weirdest random thing. I was cleaning out my dad's shed. This was a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
And he passed
in 07.
Quite a while ago. So I was cleaning out some stuff, and he had some stuff wrapped up in newspaper. So I pulled out the newspaper, and the date on the newspaper was your birthday.
It was my birthday, exactly. Year and everything.
Year, date,
month, date, year.
Month, date. And it was like, what are the odds in 1977 or whatever, a little after that, obviously, my dad wrapped up some things, and it happened to be
my birthday.
Her birthday.
It's so...
Talk about weird.
It is so
That would be one
weird.
for, a Hallmark movie or something.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
So many weird connections like that. Even, so my first job was at a Bible bookstore with this older couple. They knew his uncle. Because they had all been school teachers.
Yeah.
This was...
It sounds like we live in this small farming town where everybody knows each other.
We live in a massive suburb of Minneapolis. Yeah. I mean, this is not...
It's just the way it's weird.
Yeah. When you start to really think about all the little things, it's just... It's
there's
insane.
Some funny things like her grandpa, his name was Ken, and my mom and dad always called him Kenny and Betty. I said Kenny and Betty one time, and she was like, nobody calls him Kenny.
I have never in my whole life heard anybody call my grandpa Kenny. So that's
what I knew him as.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
It's so funny. But I think it's a huge part of the reason everything worked out so well for us too.
We forgot one other thing. That one of my best friends growing up was in the same age as I am. He went to her church, and he was in. So she knew him, but they were we're 5 years apart,
Mhm.
4 or 5 years apart.
But he had a brother that was my age.
Yeah, so they were in the same youth group with the brother you were.
Mhm.
But he was, you knew my friend,
Mhm.
and I went
Yes!
I went to a Twins game with him and their youth group one time.
In our big ugly
in our
church
big
van.
church van, and she was probably there,
Mhm.
and wouldn't even know.
Because I remember.
Because at the time I was probably what, in high school, so 16.
So the only year we
17.
were in youth group together, me and his friend whose name is Jonathan, was when you guys were seniors and I was a 7th grader.
So we were 17 or 18,
That was my first year in youth
and
group.
you would have been 12, 13.
And I did go to a Twins game in our church van. I remember being terrified. I was with a couple of my friends that were in 7th grade, but it was mostly the big kids.
So
the seniors.
even if it very well could have been,
I
but we're not
almost-
for sure.
I
Even if it
would
was,
say-
I wouldn't have been looking at
No,
a 13-year-old
because
girl
the
when I was
difference,
18.
yeah, the 5-year difference is a much bigger deal when you're 13
Yeah.
and 18 than when you're 18 and 23.
Yeah. So that could have been another possibility that happened.
Isn't that insane?
We can't prove that one though.
No, but did you go to more than one Twins game?
Just one.
I would be willing to bet that it probably was.
I don't have the ticket. What if we had the
Insane.
ticket?
It's so insane. All of these things. But yeah, like I was saying, I honestly think that has so much to do with this whole story, and all the connections have so much to do with why everything went so smoothly for us, considering the fact
yeah.
that just sounds like a recipe for disaster. A blind date and you're engaged in 6 months and you're married a year later. That just sounds like you blew through
Yeah.
way too much. And to make things even crazier, I had only had one boyfriend previously, a kid that I knew from high school and church, and he had dated nobody.
Nobody.
I mean, it literally sounds like
I just jumped at the first chance I got.
It sounds like we're the dumbest people in the world that we would do this, but I think
Well, I think we had enough background, same family, same.
we came from
faith.
the same kind of foundation. Yeah, faith, the
so-
way we were raised. I mean, there's
That
little
was all
things that were
similar.
different, but
Well, yeah.
very, very similar. So that's definitely, yeah. So when we got married, we put a little note. I don't remember exactly what it said, but we put a little note at the bottom of the program, like basically crediting.
Thank you, Grandma Betty.
Crediting Grandma Betty because she's responsible for all of it.
Oh.
So, yeah. That's it. That's our story. We don't share that super often, and it's such a fun story.
And they were happily old-fashioned ever after.
Ever after. 24 years later, now we're a couple of old complaining crows.
Yeah.
That's what happens to you when you've been married for 24 years, though.
Oh.
But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a fun story. It's my story, so of course I think it's fun. But I would think that was a fun story.
Yeah. It's
So,
a little unique, I guess.
yeah, I think so. So, now we're going to go grouch a little bit about our plumbing situation and play some Animal Crossing. And we'll see you in a little while for Advent calendars.
Bye.
Bye. Advent calendar time.
Day 15.
15. We're climbing up there.
December 15th. It's the Dale.
Oh, hi Dale. They don't talk, do they?
I don't know.
If they do, they
Wiggle
make
our nose.
chipmunky noises. All right.
Do you want me to do?
You're going to try to steal my turn?
No, I was going to see if I just did mine and then you did yours.
No. We can't do them out of order.
Okay.
Okay. 15 is way up here. Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Donald Duck. Oh, good. I get the good chocolate this time.
Mm-hmm. Just like you did last night when I let you have it.
Yeah, you did. It's your fault.
I did. Okay.
16, 14,
Where's 15? I don't see it either.
5.
I see it. It's the top of the door.
Top of the door. Oh, wow. It's really, blended in.
blended in there. What
His
weird
eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry.
No!
They're just adding stuff to
Yes!
make this last, I think.
I think so. It's not right.
Newfangled night before Christmas.
I don't enjoy it. Okay.
It's easier
15.
if someone else holds it. Too,
Yeah, it
isn't
is kind of. 15 days in, you'd think we'd have figured this out by
I know.
now.
It's a little slow on the uptake.
Oh.
More gift tags.
More gift tags.
Guess what our presents are next year are going to be wrapped
They're all
with?
going to be in these. I actually kind of like them though because of this tree.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just one.
What does it say?
You're the Monica to my Rachel.
Well,
It's like, it's not like this is like the most amazing advent calendar we've ever had or whatever. But
It's just
I
fun.
like it because it's just like fun little tidbits
Yeah.
from. I have no
Friends.
idea if you can actually see me. But
friends.
yeah, so okay.
15. Will he destroy everyone?
Probably. I keep saying I'm going to fix these guys and then I don't.
Ah, I did it.
Just toss a couple of them down on my desk and then that way I'll remember to. Ooh, it's gotten crazy.
A little dramatic,
A little bit dramatic, yeah.
but it pinches your hand. Oh, a Sally.
Ooh.
Sitting down Sally.
Oh, she's cute.
She won't fall.
No, she's
Look at
very
that.
cute.
Are we going to do this again?
No, just set one of them on my desk and then I'll remember to help them tomorrow.
You're doing the popcorn. Or are we both doing the popcorn?
I think we should both do the popcorn here. I'm going to sit down because my back is crazy tonight. Oh.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh,
Red.
red. So red gelatin. So that's so we can make red and green popcorn balls.
Yeah. Cool.
This one's been fun. I'm glad we got that.
I'm looking forward to making some.
We were supposed to make some tonight. But we're sort of like toddlers. When we get cranky about something that doesn't go our way.
If all doesn't go our way, then we're not doing anything.
We kind of are a little bit,
Yeah.
aren't we? We sat down and he was like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, and I don't really either.
Too tired. Took it all out of me.
Oh, I think everybody understands that though. When something really frustrating happens, and this is just something that happens so often here, that it just kind of takes the wind out of your sails. But anyway, we're going to go get cozy out on the couch and play some Animal Crossing. What was that look for?
Well, you said we were going to get cozy on the couch.
Oh, I didn't mean that in a... No. We're going to go get comfortable in our blankets with our Animal Crossing. Because there's supposed to be ornaments and stuff starting today.
Oh, it's
So we're
snowing. I
gonna-
like that it snowed.
Yeah, we love it in the winter on there. It's really fun. But anyway, we're going to go do that. Probably have some plain old microwave popcorn for a snack and chill out. But we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.